New York, May 28, 1997. Toward unity among nations and unity among peoples.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great honor to call to order this gathering, which shall momentarily convene in a symposium to mark the conferral of the 1996 UNESCO Prize for Peace Education on Miss Chiara Lubich, founder and leader of the worldwide movement of Focolare.
Eccellenze, signore e signori.
Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I am honored to be here in the United Nations, this worldwide organization which brings together 185 member states united for the main purpose of maintaining international peace and security. This purpose, as stated in its charter, is pursued through respect for the fundamental rights of persons and nations, economic collaboration among all countries, and the social development of each nation. Its activities have been aimed at eliminating the many scourges afflicting humanity: war, the arms race, the denial of fundamental freedoms of each member of the human family, as well as hunger, illiteracy, and poverty. This, we know, is the new concept of peace and security that has been entrusted to the United Nations. Peace no longer intended as the absence of war, but as the result of conditions which generate peace. It is therefore an organization deserving of our praise. And not only does it have the approval of the world community, it also has heaven's blessing, if we believe the statement of Jesus Christ, Prince of Peace. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God. I come to you today representing a movement which is actively present in practically all the nations of the world. And although it is much smaller and less well known, it still has something in common with this great and celebrated organization. In fact, our movement, known as the Focolare, also aims at bringing peace into the world. It is present in the Catholic Church and in more than 300 Christian churches and in many other religions. And its membership also includes people of goodwill who have no specific religious belief. As it seeks to build unity among individuals, among groups, and among nations, as it dreams of a future in which the world will be truly united, it is a force for peace in the world. It proposes, promotes, and builds peace not at high-level meetings, as the United Nations does, but among ordinary people of every language, race, nationality, and religion. But what is the bond of unity? What creates peace? It is love, the love that lives deep in the heart of every human being. For the followers of Christ, this love can be a participation in the very love that is the life of God. It is a love that is strong, capable of loving even those who do not reciprocate but instead attack us as enemies. It is a love capable of forgiving. For those who follow other religions, this love is often called benevolence and is expressed by the golden rule, which is a beautiful tenet of many religions. Do to others what you would have them do to you. Do not do to others what you would not have them do to you. For people who do not have a religious faith, love can mean philanthropy, solidarity, nonviolence. It is love, therefore, a human divine love that does not exclude purely human love, and which joins men and women, children and the elderly, persons of all walks of life, making them all of one heart. This has consequences on both the spiritual and material levels. In varying degrees, everyone shares what they have in an atmosphere of peace. Because of the Focolare movement's vocation to unity and peace, in representing it here today, I feel at home, and I feel urged from within to offer the movement's collaboration at a grassroots level. As many of you know, the Focolare movement is present in the United Nations through its offshoot, the New Humanity Movement, which is more directly involved in society. As a non-governmental organization, it enjoys a Type B consultative status with the Economic and Social Council. This presence confirms the Focolare movement's interest in and readiness to assist all those distinguished representatives of the peoples of the United Nations and its highly qualified officials who seek tirelessly day after day to keep abreast of what is happening throughout the world, and to interpret these events, endeavoring to be present wherever peace is compromised, the world's equilibrium is threatened, human rights are violated, or development is reduced to a far-off objective. In addition, I would like to offer the Focolare movement's collaboration in another way, by providing you with a brief overview of the spirituality which motivates us and which is the key to our experience of unity and peace among people of all kinds. I hope you will find this presentation to be of interest. Our spirituality, modern and timely, is called the spirituality of unity. It has given rise to a new way of life that has been adopted by millions of people. This lifestyle is inspired by Christian principles, but it also emphasizes parallel values in other faiths and cultures. It has brought this world of ours, which is constantly striving to secure peace or strengthen it, a certain measure of peace and unity. This spirituality is not something to be lived solely on one's own, but with others, together. It has a distinct community dimension. Because of this spirituality, men and women of almost every nationality, wherever they may be, are slowly but surely trying to be seeds of a new people, of a more united world, a world at peace, one committed especially to those who are the weakest, the poorest. Because of this spirituality, we feel the obligation to offer our contribution here too in this meeting place of nations, so as to give a spiritual boost to the efforts being made to render the United Nations an institution which will measure up to the expectations of humanity. Furthermore, there is a general consensus on the part of leading figures in international life concerning the need to reread the meaning of reciprocity, one of the cornerstones of international relationships. And reciprocity lies at the basis of our spirituality, and therefore of all that we do. It is a reciprocity which calls us to go beyond the old or new logic of particular alliances and instead to establish relations with everyone as required by true love. It asks us to take the initiative without preconditions and expectations. It leads us to see the other as our other self, and therefore to view every type of initiative in these terms, whether it concerns disarmament, development, or cooperation. It is a reciprocity capable of leading each person actively involved in international life to identify with the other and with the other's needs and capabilities, not only in emergency situations, but in the circumstances of everyday life. The goals and activities of the United Nations attest to the fact that peace today has new names, and it requires, first of all, a concerted effort on everyone's part, especially the United Nations, to eliminate the category of enemy, any enemy. It is not enough to exclude war. The conditions must be created in which every people can love the other's country as its own in a reciprocal, unselfish, giving relationship. May God, the Father of all, make our efforts to reach peace fruitful, together with the efforts of all who work towards this sublime goal. In the words of John Paul II on the 50th anniversary of the United Nations, that the closing of the century and the coming millennium might see the building of a civilization worthy of the human person, a true culture of freedom and peace. We can and must do this. And we shall see how the tears shed this century have prepared the ground for a new springtime of the human spirit. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your attention. I assure you that we will not forget you, but we will remember you to the Prince of Peace.